If you're dating in a long-term relationship or you're with someone, you're married to them, you may notice that the different sexes respond differently to what's going on in their life. If a woman is feeling distant from her partner or she feels like something's going on, she will usually verbalize it. Guys don't always do that. Sometimes guys are dealing with stuff, and rather than they feel like, or they may say, I don't want to burden you with it, because a lot of guys were taught when you have something bad going on, you're not supposed to share it. You're supposed to work it out. You're supposed to be stoic and silent and just carry on. And they don't realize that you're able, intuition-wise, to pick that up and start feeling badly, like they're withdrawing for no reason. I think when I see couples in therapy and she and the wife often says something to the fact that he withdraws or he is working things out and it makes her feel bad because he won't talk to her about it. What is really going on with the couple when you talk to him is that he doesn't know how to talk about it, and he doesn't want to talk about it until he's actually worked it out. So I think what's important during those times is for you as a wife not to get overly panicky or overly anxious, but rather to step back and focus on yourself, because more than likely, if he's withdrawing, something's going on with him. If it were about you, he probably would say that. And most of the men that I counsel tell me that it really wasn't about her at all. It was about something going on at work or something that happened in my family, and I just didn't want to talk about it. But men have a bad habit then of withdrawing, of staying silent, not realizing that that's going to cause a panic or anxiety in their partner. However, if the partner goes to them and starts clinging and what's going on, why don't you love me, or you never do this, or you never do this, it's going to only further the withdrawal, make them feel like there's no way you understand. And you'll see this particularly in dating, because the relationship hasn't been solidified. It hasn't been really something that they both committed to, in the sense if you compare it to marriage. So it can be and feel different. So the thing I want the wife to do is keep her value, keep her strength during these times until he's better at being able to talk about it. And if you're getting work or you're working with a therapist, that certainly should be on your agenda. The first thing is, don't try to figure out what happened. Because when you do this, you put yourself in the mode of like a spy, or you'll start asking questions and it's too invasive. And what guys that are like this usually do is they back up further. Because if they're protecting something private going on with them, the last thing they want is to feel or be confronted with questions from you. Secondly, remind yourself that you're a high-value person. And if this person chooses to deal with issues this way, it doesn't mean you have to go down that rabbit hole with them. Do the things that are going to make you feel good. Think basically, during this time, I understand he's withdrawing. I don't know what it's for, but at the same time, I need to take care of myself and do that. You know, maybe go on a trip with your girlfriends or do something that's going to make you feel better about yourself. The time you would usually go out with them, it's okay to say, are we going out? But it's not okay to pepper them with more questions, especially if they're feeling this is something they can't share with you. Next, rebuild your attraction. Like, especially if you're dating and this isn't a committed relationship, then it's important that you see yourself. You know, if this person has this pattern of dealing with issues this way, this may not work in a marriage anyway. And if you are in a marriage, then it's going to be time for you to seek therapy, because there's something going on. If this has been allowed in your marriage, this form of communication, it's very unhealthy. And unless you are able to be of strong value and say, you know what, we can't continue a marriage where I'm completely shut off from whatever's going on with you. The least you can do is talk about it and see if maybe the two of us can kind of help solve it. If I don't have a place in solving it, then at least give me the respect I deserve to listen to you and talk about it with you. I need to know what's going on. And then if you're dating, it's okay to go out with other people. Unless the two of you are really committed, then and they're shutting you off right now, then you have no liability in saying, well, you know, since I don't know what's going on with you and you're not sharing with me, I'm just going to go out with my friends or with this person. However, most people that are dating and they're to this point, they're not going to try and do something to undermine the relationship because they understand it could be a passing phase. Unless you're newer in the relationship and this is going on, then for sure this would be a person I probably wouldn't want to stay with, because already they're showing you that when issues come up, they're not able to talk to you about it. And that is not a healthy sign for a committed long-term relationship. And lastly, I think it's important that if you want to get in touch with this person, maybe they've moved out or they've made it that they're so exclusive from you, then I think it's important that maybe you call them and you set up a time. Hey, listen, I'm worried about you and I just want to know what's going on. But when you do that, realize that depending on how withdrawn they are or like basically shut down they are, they may not give you that information. Most of the time when men have this pattern, they will work through it and then they will get in touch with you again. Once again, if you're married, this is a perfect time to say, okay, this happened this time, I don't want to go through this again. We need to talk to someone if you're committed in the marriage, and work that so that the two of you can really work it out. If it's a person you're dating, you want to be open to them. You want to say, listen, I can't do this. You know, I'm a responsible person. I want to be able to talk about issues. If this is going to be your style from now on, maybe we need to work on it, on the relationship, or let it go, because this is not something that I want to participate in. I think when you make your boundaries very clear and set the precedents, it can work out well for the two of you. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.